what happened in the past week? Well, let me tell you, our database got leaked. We made a sentient button. No lie, no cap, right? I'm fucking with you. But humor me for a second. Introducing the first artificial intelligence powered button. That's right. Now what is so special about this button? Bro keeps despawning, popping in, popping out. I'm like, what's going on, bro? And my dev team is like, I have no idea. So we decided to poke around the button more, find out what's going on with this button. Why does it keep popping in and out of existence? Is it shifting dimensions? Is it like going from the 2-dimension all the way to the 4th dimension? Is that why we can't see it? Stay with me here. Stay with me. Let me put on some fucking Subway Surfers here. Gameplay here so you nerds will listen. Alright, now, turns out what happened is that we genuinely invented a button with artificial intelligence. Yes, you know, it has emotions and all that. It happened due to, what do you call it, solar flare that hits the motherboard and shifted a bit. Now I'm just fucking with you. We broke the code. We did it wrong. When I did my testing, I was doing it on a static HTML, but my dev team, they are using a JavaScript framework which creates the button and all that. I'm not no JavaScript dev. Right? I'll have one of them explain.
Okay, so what Telegram does is put an iframe that links to a button that's on their website, and that iframe is what's shown inside of a button inside our own Svelte app. Now Svelte tries to make all of the buttons reactive, and in the process of doing so, when it changes the state to loaded, the button completely just, all of the contents inside of the buttons are gone because it's an iframe.
You heard what the man said, iframes or whatever. Point is, we fixed that shit, alright? We poked around the internet, found a little solution, and boom, now login button works. It's no longer shy. We stripped it of its consciousness, alright? The button is fine. We leaked our database, alright? Now it's not as serious as I'm making it, but it was still funny as fuck. So I do code review, right? Every time someone makes a push to the repo, I skim through it. I see what changes they're making. I want to see what's going on. Now our sysadmin was in charge of setting up the MongoDB database that we were going to use for this project. Our UI code is open source, it's public, anyone can view it. The core container that he was making was in the UI code, and within that he also implements the MongoDB database. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm wondering why the fuck would he do that? It's still funny. Okay, I'm not mad or nothing, it's funny. I find it humorous. Anyways, so he puts our login credentials for the MongoDB server in that little Docker file. Now I can show it to you because we changed that shit. Look at this. Look at this dumb head. Yeah, everyone calls him a dumb head. He put that shit in there. Yeah, we had all the fun password and everything changed. No harm done. I think I'm glad this happened earlier in development than later in development, because right now our database was just the test database that we were using. There was no personal data on it, and we don't even collect personal data. Not that I would want our database to get leaked, but even if it did get leaked, nothing personal would be there because it's literally all public. Anything that's in public is gonna be in the database. We're not like hiding our fucking user preferences or shit like that. Once everything was set up, right? Because this week was mainly not coding. It was making sure that all the code and the projects can talk to each other and that devs can collaborate and work properly. That is what we were setting up. So our sysadmin was busy as fuck this week. We literally could not do any work until he was done setting it up, which is why I'll also be adding an extra week because this week doesn't really count because it was setting up infrastructure and stuff like that. Like we had to set up a GitHub organization and stuff like that. Listen, all the hella boring shit, right? You guys would not care about this, so I'm gonna skip it. So after the API and everything gets set up, I'm testing it, right? It's the middle of the night. Shit finally gets set up around like 1 a.m. last night. I'm testing it because in the morning the UI team is gonna wake up and they're gonna start working on it. So I had to make sure that this code works perfectly fine. I login works fine. I'm like, hey, I wonder if the token works, right? Let me explain to you something, right? We use the JWT token system. So like, instead of cookies, we're using that because you know it's modern, it's new, it's hip, it's cool, whatever, right? So that's what we are using for our like passing authentication data. Like once you authenticate, it's like a ticket, right? You can't visit like shit without your little ticket, you know what I'm saying? The issue was my server was creating these tokens and giving it to the user, and when the user is like, hey, here's my little ticket, can I get access through this door? So I was like, I've never met this man ever in my entire life. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this shit now working? I've tested this code before. I've used this exact code through multiple projects before, and I know this code works. It has to work. So So I'm confused as fuck. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? I'm not gonna get into the details of everything that went down last night. I just know that I went to sleep around 5 a.m. But the code is fixed now. By the time the UI team woke up, everything was finished. It was as if nothing had ever happened before. So I will be building this project out in public. You know, it's like those you'll see those street vendors making the food, right? We're like that. We're building this shit in public where you guys can see us fuck up and shit like that. I feel like this is an investor meeting, like a board meeting where I'm like, okay guys, so here are all the shit that we did wrong today, and here are all the shit that we did right today. But except instead of a board of directors that I have to answer to, I'm talking to you guys. It's like I'm taking you along the journey of me either succeeding or failing horribly in this shit. And I think it's the journey that counts when it comes to stuff like this. Because, right, I've made so many apps and I don't make them thinking they're going to succeed. I just make them because it's like, this is the way I see it, right? You make 1,000 apps, at least one of them will catch wind. And even if they don't, you learn a bunch of new shit. Every single project I do, I start by I'm like, oh, I did not do this before, let me do that shit. That's literally. And with every little project, I be growing as a programmer, I'll be learning new shit. And it's all exciting, and this project has taught me a lot of shit, so I would not be bummed out if this doesn't succeed. Also, in the next Devlog, you guys will probably be able to visit the site itself and play around with it, right? I mean, right now also you guys can visit it, but there's nothing to do because most of the stuff is happening in the background.